Welcome everyone back to the Anarchy Analysis series, where we are live once again for Worlds 2023. We have 4 games on the docket, 4 best of 3s to be exact, that we are predicting today. I'm in the new setup, it's a bit darker, so you're getting a different view of me, obviously. We're working on it. We're getting there. Don't worry. I've also not got the same setup in terms of sound and aperture and lighting. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how this works. I'll see you in a second, where we're going to be beginning our world's pickems, and then we will be predicting the series. See you then. And we go into our world's pickems. The crystal ball is back. Our random picks are also here. And we'll get rewards throughout all of this, where there's a chance, if you get every single one of these correct, to receive the handy dandy big boy reward that is all the ultimate skins, which I think I'm only missing one, which is Ezreal. Kind of sad, to be honest. I've managed to get out of my mystery chests and or orbs for events all the others, so that kind of ruins the effectiveness of getting them for me. Anyway, crystal ball, 20 worlds prediction questions are available now. Make your selections right up to the start of worlds in October the 10th. Make sure to lock in your picks before the window closes. The coin won't be here to help salvage any missed crystal ball opportunities. Check back after Worlds has concluded to see how you scored and earn rewards based on your performance. Crystal ball points and rewards are separate from traditional pickems. I'm ready to make my picks right now. Let's get into this. How many reverse sweeps do I think will happen? Now, that's only best of 5, so it's not including the best of 3s that were in the lock-in stage. Okay, that's good to note. Well, personally, if we make the pick, reverse sweeps, 9, if you think of the teams, I think they'll be close series. I think at most there's probably going to be 1 or 2. 2 is probably the safe bet. So I'm going to go 2. Reason I think that, we may see 1 in the... See, I don't know the format too well in terms of which games are best of 3s and which are best of 5s. But if the play-in stage knockout section has best of 5s, there'll be some there. You've definitely got most of the group stage or main event having them. So I think that the possibility of a reverse sweep is quite low. Europe probably will go 3-1 or 3-0 against the East. Same with NA. When China and Korea match up, the chances of full 5 games is very high. So the chance of reverse sweep is kind of an option for them. So I'm safely going with the 2 for that. Also realize there's options here. Anyway, what will be the duration of the longest single game at Worlds? It's going to be, I think, we're going to come at this with some GOL logic, and we're going to look at the average game times per region, if that's an option. Yeah, we can go. We'll look at the top regions, because the average game time is around 33 minutes in each region. We'll look at the longest game here. 42 was the longest for the LEC. LCK regional finals, 40. I think the safe ballpark is 40 to 45 minutes. 37. I do believe, however, that with how the meta is shifting, sorcerers are becoming more prevalent in the mid lane. And so we probably will see some longish games. The game time's going to get extended. So 44 minutes is really where I think it'll go. Also, what? That is not... Okay. I think you're safe going 44 or less. Like, it's the best option. How many pentakills will there be at Worlds? There's typically 1 or 2, so I'm gonna go 1. I think probably someone random will get it. Which Drake will be killed the most at Worlds? I like how they don't include Elder, even though it is technically a Drake. It would have been funny if they did, and someone would have clicked it, but I think... So the souls that we tend to see the most is Cloud Soul and Hextech. Not Hextech. Yeah, Hextech and Chemtech. I think, though, for the meme, it's got to be Cloud. Especially when the LCK teams are going to be playing, it's more than likely going to be a Cloud Drake. How many Baron Steals will there be at Worlds? So, this one I think was a question last time at Worlds. And Gumayushi was just stealing them left, right, and center, bumping this number up. I think we're going to be seeing 6 to 8. No, actually, that's a joke. I think 3 to 5 is my mindset on this one. I was thinking 6 to 8 just for the meme, but 3 to 5 sees, if you think how many games there are at this World Championship, it seems like there's a lot more than what there were last year, I believe. Plus with the tournament changing time, and we've technically got other games, I think that makes the most sense to have that one as the option. Next up, we are into champions. Who will be played in the most different roles at Worlds? Which champion? What champions are good for multi-roles? Flexes. Cassante is the one that comes to mind, but I believe he may be adjusted by then. Galio and also an option. Gragas, I'm beaming towards you, buddy. You're a big flex. Technically, if a champion only plays one role throughout the entire tournament, chances are... Actually, it's a safe pick, I think. These two are safe picks. These three are actually quite good options. But if, in theory, a champion could only be played once. Like, all champions could be played once in the same role, sorry. Like, the amount of flexibility isn't there at the moment for certain champs. I think my choice... I'm also seeing what champions are on this list, because I just saw a Nefari on here. Who's the newest champion? Briar? I doubt she's going to be available for Worlds. If she's on this list, then she probably would be, but no. Disabled, it appears. I think my pick's going to be Jace. I think that is the most logical, because top laners, I do believe some Korean or Chinese will play Jace top. I know that it's one of these picks that Unipon will play, and I believe, what's his name? Arya is his mid laner. He plays it too. So there's that. Next up, who will be picked the most during Champion Select at Worlds? Which champion? What is powerful in the current meta? I remember last year or the year before going Sightless, but having not really Seen the Worlds patch? I think... So my mind's thinking Caitlyn. I'm thinking an ADC. You're beaming to me. I need to see what patch Worlds is on first. We don't have Worlds in there. I just want to see Worlds. Where is it? We'll search it. Oh, these Worlds. World Championship. We'll go Liquipedia. That's always a good sign when they appear. And Worlds is on which patch? Oh, nice. Hang on. Wasn't Nefari on this list? So that's wrong. He's available to play. Weird champ. Where's the fixture matches? It doesn't say the patch. Flippity doo that Leaguepedia. Save me! Yeah, so they've updated it. Patch 1319. Thank you. I like this one. Let's see, what's buffed? Galio. Galio actually seems like a good option. Syndra, also up there. What was nerfed? So you're coming out the meta with static shift changes. I think Syndra, honestly, is a good option. Screaming out to me. Same with Galio. I think the option probably though will be Syndra. Or Galio. We'll go Syndra. Why not? We'll chance it. Who will be the most banned? I'm just quickly locking that one in. Who will have the most total deaths at Worlds? What support champion? Braum? No. Will we... So, Enchanter support's probably a very unlikely. Alistar? It needs to be an Engage S support. Braum, Alistar, Rakan. Rakan's always strong in the meta. I think that makes a lot of sense. Who will have the highest win rate at Worlds? Minimum 5 games. Rel. Rel tends to be one of them weird ones. Or Ivan. I think Rel. Let's get into players. Oh boy. Who will play the most different champions at Worlds? I can lock it in. I was thinking Golden Guardians like players because they play a lot of different things, but Carrier. It's either going to be Carrier or Mickey. Like G2 play different caps, sorry. But Carrier, I think, is the one that's screaming out to me. Who get most kills in a single game at Worlds? This has got to be a Korean team. Smurfing on an EU or an A or whoever gets promoed. It's going to be probably Gumayushi, isn't it? Gumayushi screaming, or what's his name? I forget the name of the player so Ruler is one. Knight also one that screams out. Where are they? Where is he? I'm trying to find you. Rodrigo. Didn't know G2 were taking that. Just weird that Gam and Jen are so close. 4 enemies. Hayes also is a good option. I think I'm gonna go Guma. Who will have the highest KD at Worlds? I think Pays. This one I think is gonna be Pays. Who will get the most First Blood kills at Worlds? First Blood. See, the issue with doing Worlds predictions is certain ones you've got a massive like sample size. Like the main event will have a smaller sample size compared to the teams that get promoed through play-ins. And I have to think most First Bloods. Again, I think this might go to Peanut more than anyone. I don't think EU will get many different things, but I think Peanut, he's going to be active on map and setting himself up more than anyone else. That's just his style, I think, for Gen G, and it clearly has worked because it got them to this World Championship. He'll get at least one. This mad lad somehow always seems to get a pentakill at Worlds. That's just my mindset, but a lot of ADCs are locked in here, is what you're starting to notice. Teams. Which team from a region with 2 seeds or less will advance the furthest during Worlds? Now, this is basically pick your favorite play-ins team. See, PSG, by default, have made it the furthest. Same with GAM. So you're really looking at VCS and PCS as the teams that are guaranteed. This one's a no-brainer. You're either going to see either GAM or PSG. Done deal. Now, here's the issue. If these two get drawn against each other in the upper bracket, there's a yikes. Because chances are they're fucked. I don't know if... Have they drawn groups for Worlds? Like, the group stage? No, they've done play-ins. Then it's a Swiss stage. Oh, I forgot about that. That's an issue. You can't really pick. I think I'm gonna have to go with, though. You play better. I think PSG. That's just purely thinking that GAM has struggled in the past few regional, well, international events. So I think they may struggle here. Which team will win the shortest game at Worlds? It's gotta be... It'll be in the Swiss stage. And it'll be a team stomping another team out of it. And my mindset is G2 have exceptionally quick games. They either bomb a game or just stomp them completely. They do it so often in the LEC, we've seen it and broke it down. That's my mindset on this one. Which team will have the most bounce steals at Worlds? Purely because I've said them to get at least one with Gumiyushi. I have to go with T1. Makes sense. Which team will win Worlds? You're already asking me this. Okay. I guess it's time to let the cat out of the bag as to which team I think is the best at Worlds. So, Gen G, T1, JDG are my top 3. And I've got to go with the MSI champs. Simple as. They're just dominant at the moment, and they've dominated the LPL for quite some time. This is their year, and I think they're going to do the quad crown? Spring champs, MSI champs, summer champs, into world champs. That's my mindset, and that's what I think will happen for JDG this year. Which team will play the most different champions at Worlds? That's not a hard question. There you go. All 20 pickems done for the crystal ball. Let's head into our picks. Starting with the playing stage. We have an issue. Because, spoiler alert, there is the world's the world's playing game, whatever it's called, the world's qualifying series. It's right in front of me. You can tell it's getting late, and I'm very, very not paying attention. That didn't make any English. Yeah. So, world's qualifying series. Let's have a look-see. We have our schedule open, ready, and available. We'll start with R7 and PSG. So, personally, R7 PSG is going to be a fun one. Wait, PSG and Gamma both? Oh, I'm dumb. I thought they were in the upper bracket. God. Oh, I look a fool now. You can tell I haven't paid attention to the format change. So, R7 PSG. I think... Well, firstly, I'm just going to do that. That's my first team, who is going to beat Team Wales. Then they'll probably face off against someone. How many teams do I have to watch? 2. Right. That makes no flipping sense, this group stage. I'm out of it. I also think the other team making it out. Also, how do I get rid of that? Like, there's no visible way to remove it. Oh, so dumb. I think the other team to make it out will be, I mean, I guess I have to say it, PCS. I predicted him in the crystal ball. That's how I think it'll go. Which 2 teams will advance to the Swiss stage? Okay, these 2. Okay, that's done. I guess you can now understand where my picks are gonna go. Let's get into predictions. Our opening game this weekend is BDS taking on the Golden Guardians in the World's Qualifying Series. A best of 5 between NA and EU. The rivalry continues on with 2 teams that arguably have never been at this stage. Worlds is a new place for these 2 teams, and they're looking to make their berth here. Golden Guardians had an international event during their tenure. They went to MSI and did relatively okay for an NA team. As for BDS, they narrowly missed out, considering they finished second in spring. They would have been there if the format for the LEC hadn't changed. Instead, they're getting their shot here and now. Will they fall short on the final hurdle once again? Yikes. Who knows? But we've broken down games between these 2 teams before. BDS more often than not. We've seen them competing all throughout the LEC. And their style, very unique, to them, and one that pretty much hasn't been done by any other team up until summer, where they fell off a little bit, but they bounced back when it mattered during season finals. So, let's go. EUNA, where am I going and why? Well, my prediction is a 3-2. It's going all 5. I think these two teams are arguably on paper very, very close. You think how their trajectories have gone. BDS obviously rising up, finishing second in spring. Same place Golden Guardians did in spring. You notice the trend. Golden Guardians finishing 4th. BDS finishing 4th. So they make it into this lower bracket battle. Let's be honest, I'm intrigued because it's going to be very close, and that's why I'm going to say BDS win it. That's my prediction. I think top lane has some interesting matchups. Licorice has shown he can play carries. He's shown that he plays tank tops. The Poppy of Dreams is something that he has. As for Dom, he plays the bruisers. He plays picks the out of meta. Things that you don't necessarily assume to come through. He'll play them, and he showcases their dominance. And sure, people can assume he's more, basically only has one champ in the Darius, but if that gets removed, he defaults to other things, and they work too. I think Cassante probably will be a big pick in this matchup. I think both players will possibly go towards it. Same with Renekton. That's another one. But yeah, top matchup, very interesting. Probably the most interesting of the two teams. Jungle, River, and Xiao, I think favors River, to be honest. I think you have to think about experience on an international stage. Because don't forget, they're going to Korea. A lot of pressure on them to make it to Worlds. It's one best of 5 that gets you there. And I think BDS, who granted haven't played internationals yet, they'll thrive in this pressure. And they'll look, defeat who they need to, and make it. That's just my thoughts on them. But it's probably the most logical way to think about them. BDS are a team that have done well with what they've got, and I think that they'll showcase why they're a threat in play-ins. Next up, it's PSG. It's R7 in our next matchup. We're back to best of 3s now, so 2-1 predictions or 2-0s are what you're going to be seeing through these 3 games. Personally, this one seems to be one-sided. PSG, they're a dominant team. I think that we'll see them 2-1 R7. I think a first series obviously takes time to warm up to the stage, the environment, and I think that PSG probably will play with the same strength that they always do in an international. Worlds is usually where they pick up, even if they struggled at like MSI, like they had done this year. I think that this is where we see them do well and probably beat out one of the weaker teams at this World Championship. It's time to get rowdy and loud as Gammon Loud enter the Rift for our 3rd series this weekend. My predictions are 2-0 to Gam. I think Loud are the weakest team. Them and R7 are the weakest regions here. I do think Gam very strong. Obviously, just getting some of their players just getting out of the Asian games. So they're granted playing on an old patch, but they're revved up. They've kept competitive. Something that some of these regions haven't done. And I think that this is where we see essentially a team like GAM do well and just thrive against the opposition. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, we see them make it to the main stage. Woo! That's leave for today, because we can't predict a Team Wales game. It is gonna be CFO, the Something Flying Oysters, taking on Detonation Focus. A lot of hype on this one for me. I think this is one I'm interested in the most. Japan always has a region like to surprise me with how I predict. I tend to always predict them to win, even though most of the time they lose. It's odd. Who cares? Anyway, I think DFM win this one 2-1. I just said I predict them and they tend to lose. And then I predict them. Yeah, I think DFM, you look at this squad and the growth that's happened after what could be argued as a very disappointing MSI. They change everything up and come back with Udapon in top lane. And when I was doing my research on them, in fact, they were the first team I looked at for Worlds 23. I saw, okay, Udapon top lane, and I got confused. So I looked back at MSI, and yeah, he was an ADC. And he played ADC for a few games this split, and it was like, huh? Yeah, he stepped into the top lane, and he's shown he can play these top lane bruisers and tanks. I think that that's going to be a focus to get safety for him. And I think if he gets one of these safe picks like an Ornn, Sion even, he's going to be fine. Teams aren't going to pressure him too heavily. And CFO, I think, will probably get swept away. But I do think that it'll be close, because it will take some time for DFM to get accustomed, get comfortable on stage, and do well. But yeah, that's my prediction. And like we did for the LEC season finals and for MSI, every game will be covered live on the channel. Well, we're covering them live here, not when the games are actually happening. We're doing it several hours after I finish work. But hey, my predictions locked in for these games now. Team Wales probably will be predicted at the end of one of the streams. We've done our crystal ball, we've done our pickems for play-ins. It's time to end this video off here. Action-packed till the end. Apologies if this is a longer video compared to normal. But thank you very much for joining me. If you enjoyed it, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you want to. And I'll see you guys for BDS and Golden Guardians. You don't want to miss it. See you guys then.